welcome to fulldisclosure.news. And we are back with a new video. Thanks to everyone that is subscribing to the channel. You know, if you want more information regarding this case, let us know, because we've been following this for years, like we said in previous videos. My wife and I, we're both from Peru, so we been following these with with a very big interest, because we know how weird are things in Peru. We know about the ruins. We know about a lot of flying saucer sightings, and we know that there are a lot of things that might be discovered there, and these Nazca mummies are definitely one of them. The whole Nazca region is very, very interesting, like we mentioned in previous videos. So regarding this specific mummy, this one was nicknamed Sebastian, and we wanted to show you a couple of pictures that Peruvian journalist Joyce Mantilla have shared on his Facebook account. This is the face of the mummy that has been nicknamed Sebastian. As you can see, the eyes are very big, and they are like inclined in like about 45 degrees, very different from a human being. Also, you can see that apparently the eyelids are very big. There's no nose, or if there is one, it's very flat, but it looks like there are a couple of nostrils there, you know, a couple of little holes. The mouth seems to be just like a thin line, and if we get a zoom in, you can see there's still even some eyelashes there on the eyelid. So this is very, very interesting. And if we go to the next picture, which is from the back of the neck, you can see the metal implant there, and apparently this implant has some kind of symbols or characters. I can barely see them there. Hopefully the researchers will be able to clean up a little bit of the diatomaceous earth. I think that's the specific name of this powder, white powder that covers all of these bodies. But apparently there are some kind of characters or symbols there which would be very interesting. I'm wondering if they are similar to some of the glyphs or symbols that we've seen in Egypt, or maybe these symbols are even older. Like I was speculating in a previous video, maybe these bodies are much, much older than what we think, right? Tens of thousands of years. So, like I mentioned before, you know, there's some kind of intention to cover up or discredit. There's some intention of creating a smear campaign against these bodies. And I was remembering, like, I would say in about 2016, 2017, there was some kind of whistleblower. His name was Pete Peterson. He did an interview with David Wilcock, and he mentioned that in the 60s he was part of an expedition that went to Nazca And he said that there were tunnels underneath the Nazca lines, which is the same area where these bodies supposedly were found. And he mentioned that, there were like thousands of miles of tunnels underneath the Nazca lines. He was even speculating at the time that maybe those bodies are part of the beings that built those tunnels. Now, if I want to speculate, I could also say that maybe these beings were the result of some kind of genetic experiments made by some kind of very ancient and advanced race that was doing all these experiments, genetic experiments, there in that area. Since we've seen, a lot so far, we've seen a lot of different species now. Some are tall like a human being, some are very little, like maybe about 2 feet tall, and there's another one that looks like an insect, very small. So I'm wondering if there's some very ancient, or there was a very ancient and advanced civilization that was doing these kind of genetic experiments. And what's most interesting is these metal implants that apparently are part of some kind of, I would say, some kind of treatment, because Joyce Mantilla has mentioned that not just this body, Sebastian's body, but also another of the small bodies that were found before, or that were, I would say, revealed before, had metal implants that apparently are some kind of treatment for ailments that have to do with bones. Like this metal implant is on top of what seems to be some kind of a broken bone or something like that. So it's very interesting to see that these bodies were somehow fixed with these metal implants. For what reason? I'm wondering if whoever created them maybe failed somehow, and they tried to, make their lives easier by putting those implants on their skin to fix the bones, or to fix some kind of problems that they might have related to the area where they lived, or maybe due to accidents. Who knows? Maybe these beings were created as slave labor, and they had these accidents while doing their labor, and they were fixed with these metal implants. We could speculate all night long, but it's very, very interesting to think about these and try to figure out why they were, implanting these metals on the bodies of these little beings. Now, going back to Pete Peterson, he thought that maybe those beings were the ones that built the tunnels, but that not necessarily has to be like that. He was also speculating, it was his opinion, but he mentioned that during his work with the US government, he had the chance to meet beings that had 3 fingers and 3 toes. So I would say they might be related to the bodies that have been found in Nazca. Now, going back to the video that Joyce Mantilla was showing on his channel, we see here both bodies, and I wanted to share a couple of your comments on the previous video. Honestinsky said, excellent video, thanks for sharing, thanks for helping document and create awareness for our tridactyl buddies. Keep up the good work. ABC34245 said, amazing. And 3 hours ago, at the time we were recording this, ENC4901 said, this is fascinating. I have been extremely interested in the hands and feet of these specimens because I don't know of any other creatures on Earth that have similar appendages. 3 fingers attached to a bridge of bones across 5 metacarpals that all connect at their other end to carpal bones. This is an incredibly interesting and unusual arrangement, especially as the fingers have 5 or more phalanges, which again is unique. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the technical terms, so if I'm not pronunciating them correctly, you might have to excuse me. And he keeps on going. He says, there's a hybrid specimen which has a much more familiar arrangement for the bones in the hand and wrist, even though there are only 3 fingers and each one has 5 phalanges. The bones in the hands are easily recognized and have a similar arrangement to human hands. As for the skulls, they are beyond my comprehension. I look at them in doubt because I have no frame of reference. All I can do is try to absorb what I'm seeing, and I hope that someone either proves them to be fake or comes up with a better preserved specimen that removes all doubt. I can see the details in the skull X-rays and recognize various orifices, tissues, and structures, but it is so far from any creatures that I am familiar with, and I'm having trouble believing what I'm seeing. I'm keeping an open mind and my fingers crossed. And I would say that's a great comment, because we all have to keep an open mind. Not like some scientists that just follow what their financiers tell them to do, right? We have to keep a very open mind, and the scientists should be the first ones to have an open mind and dare to take samples from these bodies. But most of the, unfortunately, most of the mainstream scientists that are saying that these are fake, they have never taken a sample from the bodies. And the people that have the bodies are asking them to go and take samples and do the research. Hopefully, more people will do that and we will have the truth. But in the meantime, all the details that we are seeing let us think, that this is true. Now, like I said on previous videos, we've been following these since probably 2016, 2017. 5 years ago, like you see here on our other channel in Spanish, we did an interview with Joyce Mantilla. It was an 1-hour live streaming where he told us how the Peruvian government at first didn't want to have to do anything with the bodies. and then later on they try to charge the person that found the bodies, prosecute him. And then they try, when the researchers gave the bodies to the University of Ica, then the government tried to seize the bodies from them, when before they said that they didn't want to have to do anything with them. So it's a series of contradictions from the government. And then early this year, in January, they tried to create a smear campaign with a conference where they said that the bodies were fake, but they never took a sample of the bodies. They just got a couple of dolls from an airport souvenir shop, and that's what they used to say the bodies are fake, which doesn't make sense at all. So hopefully we will have the truth in the future. Now, I've been in contact all this time with Joyce Mantilla from Peru, and we don't know yet the identity of the person that have found these two new bodies, and they are keeping the source of the bodies anonymous for a reason. They are keeping the identity of whoever found these bodies anonymous, because they don't want to repeat what happened with the first person that discovered the previous bodies. They don't want to have or create a problem. So I'm not sure if these come from the first batch, from the same batch, or from the same person that found the first ones, or these were found by somebody else. But the good thing is that they were found and they were revealed, and hopefully we will see more of these bodies revealed in the future. I'm not sure if there are more, but we will, in any case, we will keep an eye, and we will keep in contact with Joyce, and we'll see if we can get more details in the future. But the preliminary reports, X-rays and CT scans show that these are real, and they have, one of them at least, Sebastian, has metal implants, not just in the back of the neck, but also close to his shoulders at the front. And we'll see what else we find, because this is just a starting. All right, that's all for this video. Until the next one, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and I'm signing out. Over and out.